Welcome to the Tulare Historical Museum. In a few minutes, you will be escorted aboard an imaginary time machine for a journey into Tulare's rich and colorful past. But first, this short presentation is designed to give you a quick overview of the community's history and help you understand and appreciate the exhibits you are about to see. Fittingly enough, the trail for your journey winds through the museum, whose location played a significant role in the development of early Tulare. On this site was located the community's first real schoolhouse, a massive brick structure opened in 1884, 12 years after Tulare's founding. Long before the coming of the white man, the land around Tulare was inhabited by the friendly Yokuts Indians. They clustered together mainly around Tulare Lake to the west, a vast inland sea reputed to be the largest body of fresh water west of the Mississippi. As you begin your tour, you will visit a Yokuts village and learn how these skilled people used the tule reed to fashion outstanding works of Native American art. At its zenith, Tulare Lake covered about 1,000 square miles. In wet years, it was possible to travel by boat from the lake through a network of inland waterways all the way to the Bay Area. Occupied by white settlers in the 1860s, the lake area became a major supplier of terrapin and other delicacies for the fine restaurants of San Francisco. There was no town of Tulare then. Tulare came into being with the arrival of the first little train over the new Southern Pacific tracks on July 25, 1872. At that time, the population was only 25. Quickly, the railroad built a depot, a roundhouse, and machine shops, and established its division headquarters in Tulare. The population grew rapidly. The business section mushroomed almost overnight. Churches were built. So were saloons. These were the best of times, but they would last only until 1891. Then the Southern Pacific dropped an economic bombshell on the community. It closed its roundhouse and shops and relocated them in Bakersfield. With its big railroad payroll wiped out, the town's very existence was threatened. But big trouble was no stranger to Tulare. 3 times during its earliest years, great fires had virtually wiped out the business district. The heroic but under-equipped volunteer fire department fought the flames valiantly, but came up a loser every time. Yet Tulare's indomitable pioneers rebuilt the town after each fire, always better than before, until their determination finally won out. Those same pioneers had envisioned a time when the railroad would possibly abandon Tulare and had concocted an elaborate scheme to switch the community's primary economic base to agriculture. They created the Tulare Irrigation District to provide water to the areas then just beginning to blossom, farmlands. Construction of a canal system bringing water from the Sierra was financed by the issuance of $500,000 in bonds. In the end, the project was a total success, but for a time it became another community nightmare, threatening Tulare with a disastrous and early end. The community fell far behind in its bond payments. It was feared that all privately held land and even the community itself might soon be declared bankrupt. But again, those never-say-die early Tularians prevailed. They raised the money to redeem the bonds and an additional $4,000 to stage the wildest celebration in all of Tulare's history. The highlight was the burning of those accursed bonds. From that point on, Tulare blossomed into a virtual garden of the sun. It began an endless march forward. Agriculture provided it with a rock-solid foundation. Its downtown business section expanded and prospered. Its people built fine homes. The growing population brought a need for more schools, even a college. Tulare's residents live the kind of lives that cause many nostalgic people today to pine for what they like to call the good old days. Tulare became an incorporated city in 1888 and promptly built a combination city hall and firehouse on K Street. You will see all these things and much more in priceless photos and artfully designed exhibits as you tour the museum. You will meet Tulare's first family, the Wrights, and other pioneer families, the Gists, the Goebels, and the Berries. You will also meet Bob Mathias, Sim Innes, Admiral Elmo Zumwalt, General Maurice Preston, and Brian Allen, some of the Tularians who have focused worldwide attention on their hometown. You will be able to look inside an early Tulare home, at a living room, a bedroom, and a kitchen. You will see replicas of an early day millinery shop, a drugstore, a barber shop, and a blacksmith shop. The museum was financed through a public subscription campaign conducted by the Tulare City Historical Society. It was opened in 1985. The museum building and its contents would not have been possible but for the wholehearted financial, physical, and moral support provided by the entire community of Tulare and the help of the Tulare City and county governments. The Tulare Historical Museum is the lasting legacy of the Tulare City Historical Society to all the people of this area, past, present, and future. We hope you will enjoy your tour and that you will leave the museum with a greater appreciation of the pioneers who built such a solid foundation for the Tulare of today.